Okay, so let's look up what things are. So apparently we have a government, okay, so in their geographical boundary called New South Wales, as opposed to the political subdivision. So here we have NSW Government Schools. It's an entity name in 2000, but the schools in New South Wales been around since the 1800s. Here's the ABN, Australian Business Number, and who's it issued by? This guy. So who's this guy? This guy is attached documents release freedom of information seeking access and all documents confirm that the following registration of the SEC of the Australian Government, a Commonwealth of Australia, is a privately owned American company, file number 333163307. So here we have a privately owned company issuing numbers to trade for these new entities, right? So let's go to the ABR. So the ABR creates the number. Essentially they generate the number for the ATO. So what does the ABR do? Let's ask it. The Australian Business Register stores business and organisational details. Our purpose is to verify business information for the community and government. Government is a privately owned American company. It doesn't get much simpler than this, right? So the ABR generates numbers for the ATO, right? And the ATO gives you the ABN number, right, which is here. So this is the ABN number. It's held in a registry called the ABR, and who issues it? The ATO. Let's look at the ATO. This is my like of E. Chapman. This is his honour. I don't know his name. If the Australian Tax Office does not exist, the Deputy Tax Commissioner is not validly appointed, and all who sail in her or with her, it would have to be in some doubt. So they talk about sailing, right? So now let's go to I've got another one. Now let's go to 18 USC. 18 USC code 9. So he's talking about sailing, okay? So let's look into sailing. Vessels of the United States, defined as means vessel of the United States as used in this title means a vessel belonging in whole or part to the United States, or any citizen thereof, or any corporation created by or under the laws of the United States. So belonging in whole or in part to. So when I have something, it's a fact. You know, I can hold it in my hand. It's what they call a fact, right? Gist means a fact. It's the argument. It's the what's happened, the function, the mechanism that's relied upon. So the gist is a fact, yeah, or it's a truth. And so regist means no truth, no fact. So it means in law it means to transfer to someone else. So it's transferring of equity. And so in whole or in part, the United States, a vessel of the United States is any citizen, any corporation created by or under the laws of the United States. Well, that's what this is right here. This is going to be a quick one, right? So that's what this entity is right here. This entity is registered to this entity, right? So the SEC is in the United States, any state, territory, jurisdiction, possession thereof. So this entity is registered to this entity, so now it becomes the property of the United States. A bankruptcy administration. These guys create their numbers to register businesses and organisations for these guys. And if you don't believe me, I'll just go straight to the top. This is the High Court of Australia, and this is my likely Chapman, HCA 242 17 May 2000, and it's Matthew Molike, plaintiff, and Stephen Chapman. And Stephen Chapman is the summons to strike out statements of claim. So he's trying to have his statements of claim struck out, and he did. And this guy here is the Deputy Tax Commissioner, right? Chamber statutes, and then it cites a lot of technicalities at the start, but if we scroll down, Mr. Fitzgibbon, one of your points, it seems to me that the material in the material is no statute has been passed since 1931 has any validity. What is this effectively your statement? Relates to, Your Honour, the two individual writs, so you're talking about the writs. Those matters I surmised that what the submission is. I have surmised what the submission is while I am appointed under statute. What is the point of applying to me? According to you, nothing that I do would have any validity. No, that's not quite correct. So I don't want to throw out baby out of the bathwater. I just want to win my case, right? His Honour, not quite right, not quite correct. So Mr. Fitzgibbon is basically saying, I just want to throw this case out. I don't want to attack the court's validity. The court has no validity because the court relies on something called fictio. Right, so fictio is the fiction created to give the court jurisdiction. So then we go to here, and then it's sorry. Okay, so this is His Honour. Then the costs. Then what about Orders 5, declaration that the Australian Tax Office is a body without a legal persona. The Australian Tax Office is not a party to the litigation. It is not, and it has declarations which has some utility. The court does not make declarations with respect to non-existent legal personality. So it is a non-existent legal personality. It does not matter if in fact the Australian Taxation Office, it does not matter if in fact the Australian Taxation Office is not a legal personality. There is no point in efficacy in the High Court making a declaration in this respect. Now, what the documents are there, he's talking about something else, right? You can pause this and read it. You don't have to have me read it out. You can see that there is no point in making any declaration in respect of a factual situation which just does not exist. It is not pleaded, it cannot be pleaded, it doesn't exist. So they're talking about the ATO, right? And it comes down to here, and it says the ATO does not exist and the Deputy Tax Commissioner is not validly appointed, and all who sail in her or with her, it would have to be in some doubt. So therefore, the Commonwealth of Australia, the privately owned company, is in Admiralty Maritime Law because a citizen and a corporation, state and territory creations of the United States, are property of the United States, right? So this entity here, Commonwealth of Australia, created this entity here, which created these entities here, right? These numbers, and you'll see they're all brand new. These are all brand new. Right, 2019, 2021, 2000, and this is all the New World Order. All these companies, all these entities are illegal. They have no certificates of proclamation. Populations have been drugged, and this is New South Wales local government, clerical, administrative, energy. So we voted in 1988 that we don't have local government. There's no councils. New South Wales Pty Ltd. This is in Victoria. Government Service of New South Wales Sports and Trust Division. That's just the area code. Oh, sorry, these are the postcodes. This was government. These are all after 2000 anyway, right? So, because the ASX didn't exist it was 1990. Roads and Traffic Authority, Government New South Wales. So the RMS. That's no longer, that's defunct. New South Wales Service. Government Service of New South Wales, New South Wales Local Government Women's Association, Local Government Managers, New South Wales Government Jardines Mutual Liability Scheme, Local Government Engineers Association, New South Wales Government Public Relations Association, New South Wales Government Jardines Liability Scheme, New South Wales Local Government Community Service, New South Wales Government Transport Employees Sick and Accident, Fujitsu, Local Government Appointments, Local Government New South Wales, there we go, Local Government New South Wales, right, and New South Wales Corporation, see it's a corporation, New South Wales, so you need to write all these numbers down and create a cheat sheet, right, New South Wales Purported Limited, South Australia, so that's obviously someone's company, New South Wales Government Telecommunications Authority, it's a private land company in America, it's a subsidiary of a private land company in America, New South Wales Government Schools, right? So we'll come down to New South Wales Corporation, we'll click on this, New South Wales Corporation, right? So these are all subsidiaries of this entity, and this entity is a subsidiary of this entity, a vessel of the United States, of the United States, and they're all vessels of the United States. So when you see this going on, where this woman has 2 fingers into her thyroid, right, and there's a carotid artery on the side of her neck, and this is because she wouldn't sign a fine, and they claim she said something to the effect of I'm going to commit suicide, yet the whole thing was recorded, okay? This one here is birds attacking the 5G towers, because these birds are smart, they know they're about to get fucking cooked, even the birds are smarter, right? But if you come down here, you'll see luciferin is a light emitting from matter, and they're trying to induce a nanoparticle, and it's called lucifers. If you just Google lucifers, it's an actual scientific term. Right, now I'll put that clip up, but this is, they took away the fathers, right? Now I don't know if she's still with the partner, right? I'm making an assumption, but they take away the father so they can come in and steal the kids, right? So they've come in and they're stealing the kids, right? There's another one here, I shared it but it didn't share, and essentially they're just stealing kids. This is to break the family up, right? I'll see if I can go to my history. Oh, there's the other one. Might come up. No, I can't find. I closed the page. Right, this is Sydney water. Right? This is New South Wales water. So you put it in, you boil it down from 4 litres, and then you get this. This is what's left over, right? So the steam comes off, clean water comes out, and this is what you would have drunk. That's what you would have drunk. All that dirt and sediment. They're doing this on purpose, right? And most of this will be heavy metals, fecal matter, and all that kind of stuff, right? And soot. And it's not coming up. I might get a history. No, so I'll get a history. Right. And you'll see literally 30 cops smash this guy and then try and calm the kid down. Right, now, I'll show you this again. Right, this is, get rid of that. Get rid of that. And we'll go to what things are. Police powers. Now let's read these out quick. Police have no powers of arrest whatsoever to arrest or detain a citizen for the purpose of questioning him or facilitating their investigation. It matters not at all whether the questioning of investigation is for the purpose of enabling them to ascertain whether he is the person guilty of a crime known to have been committed, or is for the purposes of enabling them to discover whether a crime has or has not been committed. If the police do so act in purported exercise of such power, their conduct is not only destructive of civil liberties, but it is unlawful. That's Regina versus Banner. It's a full bench of the Supreme Court in Northern Territory. Right, it's an ancient principle of common law that a person not under arrest has no obligation to stop for police or answer any of their questions. And there is no statute that removes that right. They're conferring such a right and power on police would have a substantial detraction from fundamental freedoms which has been guaranteed to citizens by years or centuries, right? So we weren't citizens 50 years ago. We were subjects, British subjects. There's no common law that power that is vested in police giving them unfettered right to stop and detain a person to seek identification, right? This is held up. This was never overturned. This is Victoria, right? Victoria is part of the Commonwealth, And Commonwealth law overrides, case law overrides all statutes in any state, okay? Just because you stand there with a bunch of geese, remember New South Wales is a political subdivision, then you've got New South Wales, the actual geographical boundary. Just because you're standing with a bunch of geese doesn't mean you're part of that geese, right? The Commonwealth is the whole of Australia, except for Northern Territory and the ACT, right? So this is Commonwealth law, and they're wearing a Commonwealth badge and they're breaching it. Right? They are committing a tort in law. This is all tort law, okay? It's all tort. Tort is the root of torture. So I'll play this clip and you can have a look, because this is pretty bad, okay? And essentially what's going on is, if the police don't tackle you and create court cases, the state can't generate money because they bonded you out illegally. The state can't create any money unless they create fines, bonds and warrants, okay? And it's all shipping paperwork, right? Because they insured the certificate of live birth. They issued you with a birth certificate. They tricked you into thinking that was you, and it's not. It's an estate, and it's the worst kind of crime. It's fraud and it's treason. Now this guy's wearing a mask, even though he's healthy, right? The only reason why you wear a mask is so none of your microbes in your mouth or your bacteria lands on someone else, like the sick patient. And he's actually inducing cortisol, and he's he's forcing himself to breathe more CO2, which is bad for him. He actually called the age a lot faster and cause a lot of problems long term. Right. So I'll just play this.
They're starting on kids again. Fathers with kids. Yeah, I am back. For his own protection, I'm taking a video. For his own, I don't know the gentleman, but for his own protection, he's got kids there. So I think for his own protection, I need to take a video as a citizen.
Everyone else, please move on.
For his own protection, I'm taking a video.
I'm videoing, so it's fine.
Well, you're not facing me. You're not videoed.
Everyone else is videoing as well.
Yep, that's
Thank you. You've already said you want to move on.
Yeah, I am going to move on.
Now.
Look at this. Look at this. Me perdí. Pero το παιδί.
Oh my God! Fuck off! Dickheads! Oh my God! Fuck off! Stupid dickheads! We've got everything. We're going to keep on
Look at these kids.
stand back and give
Oh, look at these kids.
Yeah, and they want to keep it safe, so they're trying to keep it safe.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
They are attacking a parent
Ridiculous.
and
Look at that.
kidnapping a child. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Look at that pair with all the floor. I need to keep tight. That is absolute foul. I'm shaking. That is. Honey, please calm down. Honey, please.
That's the wife.
Just go look after your kids. Go look after your kids. There's not much you can do here.
It's alright, Chantal. Honey! Honey, calm down! Honey! Babe! Don't resist! Honey, calm down, please! Please calm down! Honey! Calm down! My children are with my friend. I asked them to get them away from here. Honey, calm down, okay? Honey! Don't swear! Calm down! Please, babe! Calm down, honey!
Victoria. So this guy's waiting for his wife. He's got his baby there, and essentially this is what's going on. They've been preparing for this for the last 12 years. They brought in the terrorism laws so they could get AR-15s. This has all been ramped up. It's all been staged. While all this is going on with the COVID bullshit, they're bringing in the 5G as well, right? So all the 5G towers have gone up. If I go back to yeah, this clip, it'll show you the birds are actually attacking these towers, these massive fucking towers.
Even the birds don't like the 5G.
Ripping the cables
Pulling
out.
it apart. That one over there. Jesus. They don't like it, mate.
They're specifically targeting the cables because they know these things are actually zapping people. Right?
They're not dumb, the birds. They know what's happening. Good on them, mate. Yeah. God, they're going for it, aren't they? They're like, fuck the 5G.
You gotta love that. I mean,
Even
these birds are specifically targeting this tower. They are specifically targeting the tower. Right? They know what's going on. These people say, you know, birds are telepathic, okay? They move in a flock. They move as a body, right? They move as a body. They are telepathic. If you put a picture in your head, you can put a picture in your head that you're not a threat to the bird, okay? You have to put the idea of eating meat out of your head. When you know, putting food down for a bird walking away, that's one way of showing it, and you can actually put a mental picture in your head. And I've had birds start treating me different. I've put mental pictures in my head that I would lift the dog's ass off the ground if he goes near the blackbird. I mean, we got a couple of blackbirds, and the blackbird will hop up to him within 2 metres, right? And he won't go after the bird. If there's a minor bird there, it's open season. That blackbird knows he's protected. And you get the doves as well. The doves, the sparrows, they'll sit right next to the dog. They won't touch him. Anything goes near the front gate, anything even moves, looks like prey, he'll try and kill it. And you know, the pests like minor birds actually kill off all the native species. So you can put a picture in your head, and you can also replicate it physically as well in your actions. But these guys are smart, right? A pretty smart bloke said to me, picture putting some food down at your feet and stepping back 2 metres. And this water dragon that ran up and stood on my foot, and I was talking to this guy, looked up at me, and then spun me out for a second, and he ran off. And then he said, I told the guy, he said, do what I just said. And the lizard came back up and sat on my foot and looked up at me, as if to say, where's the food, bro? Where's the food? You promised me food. And all I did was I painted a picture in my head, right? And that's why they drug the fuck out of us, right? And that was a bit of a shock to me, actually. But it's not a shock in terms of what is imprinted in my head from a long time ago, right? People might think, oh, he believes in reincarnation, and well, I'm a continuation of my father's life force, right? I came out of my father, was impregnated in my mother, and then I came out. A separate entity, but I have the encoding from my father and my mother. So essentially, my father is my father's father's father. Anyway, so you get what I'm trying to say. So this is what's going on. Even the birds, they're attacking the cable. They're specifically chewing out the cables.
good on them, mate. Yeah. God, they're going for it, aren't they? Fuck the 5G.
Yeah, that's it.